Hello et bienvenue à tous dans ce 87e numéro du Rétro. Merci à tous ceux qui soutiennent la chaîne et qui permettent de continuer la grande aventure des NBA Stories. Si vous souhaitez supporter ce projet, sachez qu'il est possible d'offrir un tip directement depuis YouTube en cliquant sur le cœur sous cette vidéo. Merci à tous. NBA des années 2000, Shaq, Allen Iverson, faut que ça brille. Nous sommes fiers de vous présenter le tout nouveau partenaire des NBA Stories, le bijoutier streetwear Chain Nation. Chain Nation, c'est la bijouterie française numéro 1 sur le drip. Des artistes aux sportifs de haut niveau, cette marque est la référence pour les accessoires streetwear. C'est simple, vous trouverez tout chez eux. Bagues, bracelets, pendentifs, des pièces plutôt simples aux bijoux bling bling pour ceux qui n'aiment pas se cacher. Chain Nation vous propose même un service de création sur mesure. Leurs pièces sont d'une grande qualité avec un packaging impeccable. Leurs bijoux sont garantis à vie avec un service client exceptionnel. Noté 5 étoiles sur Trustpilot avec plus de 1000 avis. Bref, on tient là les goûts de la bijouterie. Fan des NBA Stories, l'équipe de Chain Nation vous propose une offre folle pour 15% de réduction en utilisant le code LNS15. Le lien est dans la description, à vous de vous faire plaisir. Nous avons aujourd'hui la chance de compter sur la participation de Roland Lazenby. L'un des écrivains sportifs les plus respectés aux États-Unis, Lazenby est notamment l'auteur de The Life, la biographie de référence sur Michael Jordan, disponible dans vos librairies, traduit en français. Et pour les bilingues d'entre vous, son tout nouvel ouvrage sur Magic Johnson est à paraître le mois prochain.
Peter Vesey spoke with the newest Lakers superstar yesterday in Los Angeles.
What did it come down to? Money? Chance to win? What was it?
It came down to the best offer.
And suddenly Jerry West had found a way to pry Shaq out of Orlando, but he had to dump the roster to do it. He was getting rid of all the work he had done in building the roster. It hadn't been successful.
5 ans après le départ de Magic Johnson, l'excitation revenait enfin à Los Angeles. 5 saisons de disette. Pour une équipe comme les Lakers, c'était énorme. Mais en 1996, l'interminable attente était enfin terminée. L'icône locale Jerry West, aux manettes des Lakers, avait signé l'un des plus gros coups de l'histoire de la NBA. Le monstre sportif comme médiatique Shaquille O'Neal était désormais sien. Il était temps pour les Lakers d'enfin goûter à nouveau au final NBA.
The Lakers have acquired a 24-year-old superstar who we feel is going to bring us to that incredible level that this franchise has enjoyed in Los Angeles.
Shaquille O'Neal et encore Shaquille O'Neal. Voici le nom sur toutes les lèvres à l'approche de la saison 1996. Tout le monde du basketball louait Jerry West pour avoir mis la main sur Shaq. Mais personne ne se doutait alors que le general manager des Lakers venait de réaliser un autre grand coup cet été-là. Oui, arraché en 13e position de la draft 96, un jeune adolescent inconnu atterrissait lui aussi à Los Angeles. Un certain Kobe Bryant.
And he put the piece of paper on the thing. And before I could sign, he stopped me. He said, "Let me tell you something. I just acquired this kid from Charlotte. You and him gonna get about 3 or 4 championships."
Kobe was considered an interesting pick, a teenage guard coming into the NBA right out of high school. It was weird. He had an interesting name. Kobe wasn't a name you heard back then much. Today it's everywhere. Jerry West, of course, quietly had gotten very excited about him, but the public wasn't real interested.
Dans l'imaginaire collectif, le duo Shaq et Kobe évoque une domination criante. Dans les faits, le rêve avait pourtant commencé tel un cauchemar. Allez, retour sur ces 3 saisons souvent oubliées, et pour cause. Un Shaquille O'Neal fragile manqua plus d'un tiers de la saison 96-97. Arrivé en play-off face aux vétérans du Utah Jazz, les Lakers tombèrent de façon surprise dans les seules mains de l'adolescent Kobe Bryant. Moins de 2 minutes à jouer, Byron Scott, Robert Horry et surtout Shaquille O'Neal étaient hors du parquet. Alors, le match de l'éclosion pour Kobe? Oh que non! Le jeune extérieur connut une humiliation totale, avec 5 airballs de suite.
You know, you got to look at the reality of the situation. You know, like for me, it's not, you know, you kind of got to get over yourself. Like, it's not about you, man. Like, oh, okay, you feel embarrassed. You're not that important. Get over yourself, right? Like, you're worried about how people may perceive you, and like you're walking around and it's embarrassing because you shot 5 air balls. Get over yourself, right? And then after that, it's okay, well, why did those air balls happen? Got it. High school, year before, we played 35 games, max, right? Week in between, spaced out. Plenty of time to rest. In the NBA, it's back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I didn't have the legs. So you look at the shot, every shot was online. Every shot was online, but every shot was short. Right? I got to get strong.
He was considered the beginning of a spoiled brat. And by that, that was his going to become his public image. He just wasn't considered anything big and important.
Let's come back with more Shaq.
Shaq was very fun-loving and outgoing. I mean, he was a real jokester. And Kobe was sort of frowning and serious, and I got to know Kobe. But you know, that started. He came in the locker room afterward, and I was just one of the guys standing there. He came up with a soul shake, and you know, it was just something where we sort of hit it off. You know, Kobe just got more and more frustrated. He had all this ambition. Shaq, they started out sort of in a good situation, but Shaq had all this pressure on him. Kobe he should have played some college ball. Tex Winter was my good friend, the great triangle coach, who was Phil Jackson's assistant. And I would talk to Tex about Kobe. And Tex would say, it's such a shame he didn't go to college a little bit, because that's where Michael really learned to be more of a team player. And Kobe hadn't had that. He'd gone right into the NBA. He was very raw. He was fearless. He was angry. You know, Shaq very soon was making fun of him in the locker room, you know, mocking him with little songs, and it got uglier and uglier.
But with a sweep, and the Lakers on the wrong end of it. What does the future hold for the Lakers and for Kurt Rambis?
So you succeed, you must learn how to fail. And I just hope that I don't have to, you know, fail too many more times.
Été 1999. 3 ans après l'arrivée de Shaq, le grand projet de Jerry West avait été un fiasco total. 3 saisons, aucune finale, des mésententes en pagaille. Entre un Shaq pas assez sérieux et un jeune Kobe peut-être trop sérieux, l'alchimie de cette équipe était proche du néant. C'est alors qu'un chef d'orchestre providentiel débarqua dans la Cité des Anges.
That year in the playoffs, when I was there were already rumors that Phil Jackson, who had left Chicago, was going to be hired. And I was rebounding free throws with Kobe in the Forum after practice one day. While I was at the Forum that day rebounding those missed free throws, I went over to talk to Jerry West, who was kind of flirting with this beautiful TV reporter. There were only 4 people in the Forum, me and Kobe, Jerry West, and this beautiful LA TV reporter. And West was, he was over there sort of doing the Jerry West thing. And I sat down to talk with him a little bit, and all I did was mention Phil Jackson. And suddenly Jerry exploded. Fuck Phil Jackson. And I said, no, Jerry, you misunderstand me. He said, no, fuck Phil Jackson. And it was just a bizarre scene, because a little more than maybe 6 weeks later, he would be introducing Phil Jackson as the new Lakers coach.
Without further ado, the new coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, Phil Jackson.
That 99 season, while Kobe was so miserable, while he was shooting free throws, he looked at me and said, you know, I've always dreamed that Tex Winter would be my coach, because Kobe had adored Jordan, had studied a lot of tape of him, knew all about the triangle. He understood the triangle offense. The coaches realized they had some real hatred going on in that locker room for Kobe. He was still considered this young, spoiled guy who was keeping them from doing what they needed to do to win. And they had to get Kobe out of his bad habits. And so that happened, and the Lakers got better.
There were some personal goals that were standing in front of the group goals. And that all had to be kind of figured out.
The first time in my career, a coach came in and said, look, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to master. If you're not going to do that, then you're not going to be here.
Bryant gets it back, comes in deep, bounce under to Shaq. Beautiful play. Here's Shaq. against Dudley. Nice. Shaq has it on in the back rim. He's going to get the ball into the upper score. Bryant. He's moving the ball. He knows what's going on in his 28th birthday. Under the Kobe. Those two have complimented each other as well as any two Laker players.
Congratulations, 1999-2000 NBA MVP, Shaquille O'Neal.
I'm at a point in my life where individual honors don't mean much anymore. I'm just, more worried about what the team is capable of doing.
He wants this thing. It affects him, right? I mean, it consumes him. And then from that moment on, I knew we spoke the same language. It doesn't matter if we had disagreements this and the other, our drive to win, like we have to win. There's no other option. We're gonna figure this out, we're gonna get this done.
Un Shaquille O'Neal ultra dominateur, un Kobe Bryant enfin canalisé, un Phil Jackson toujours autant inspiré. Les Lakers 2000 écrasèrent une NBA post-Jordan en manque de repères. La destinée semblait manifeste. Los Angeles allait enfin goûter à nouveau aux joies d'un titre de champion. Après s'être débarrassé tant bien que mal des Kings, puis des Suns, les Lakers n'avaient qu'une petite marche à accomplir pour retrouver les finales NBA.
The Sun series is over. We've made it to the Final Four. Portland series coming up next.
Face aux Lakers en finale de conférence, se trouvaient les bien moins clinquants Portland Trail Blazers. Certes, l'équipe de l'Oregon n'avait pas un arsenal aussi puissant que les Lakers. Mais en termes de fighting spirit, Portland n'avait rien à envier à Los Angeles. Et si les Lakers ne s'étaient pas vus un petit peu trop beaux? Car oui, cette série fut loin d'être une simple formalité. Les Blazers poussèrent l'équipe de Shaq jusqu'à un match 7 où l'erreur n'était pas permise.
They ran aground against the Portland Trail Blazers in the playoffs. And Jerry West came into the locker room. Jerry West owned the Lakers mentally. He was the great figure, and he was everywhere. And Phil, in front of the team, said, "Jerry, we have to ask you to step out. This is a team only." Phil had kicked Jerry West, the great Jerry West, out of the Lakers locker room.
This battle tonight was lost, but the war's not over.
It's our season, man. We know we can work harder. Every loose ball, man. We got to have everything today.
Hey, man, listen, let's go out there. Play our best, man.
Los Angeles, 4 juin 2000. Une défaite et les Lakers prenaient la porte. Une défaite et le projet Shaq en Californie était un pétard mouillé. Aucun autre scénario possible pour les Lakers qu'une victoire en bonne et due forme. Sauf que...
Out further on the floor than usual against AC Green. The turnaround. 8 seconds to shoot. It's going to be Scotty. Stoudemire with Robinson this time.
Neal, and Portland's not letting him.
Scotty. How big is that? This is a 15-point game.
The Lakers are at their mercy right now. They totally collapsed.
The Trailblazers have blown it open. The Staples Center is sitting in stunned silence.
À 10 minutes et 28 secondes de la fin du match 7, Portland menait de 16 unités. Dans une NBA de l'époque bien moins prolifique en points, cet écart était quasi synonyme de défaite. Alors voilà, Jerry West avait failli à la tâche. Le projet Shaq et Kobe sentait déjà la cendre. Pourtant, une étincelle prit forme en Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal et le héros du soir Brian Shaw. Petit à petit, point par point, le Staples Center se réveilla. L'un des plus grands comebacks de l'histoire allait alors s'écrire.
Shaquille O'Neal taking a toll too. Shaw. O'Neal. It's Kobe again. Dave's getting his team to believe. That's slammed down emphatically.
Just somehow down the stretch of that game, our chemistry fell apart.
Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq. Seconds left. LA has outscored Portland 25 to. That's it. I'm not sure if the Lakers won as much as they escaped.
The Lakers are going to the NBA Finals
Kobe to Shaq, un alley-oop légendaire pour symboliser l'un des instants les plus fondateurs de l'histoire de la NBA. Car oui, une fois ce comeback réussi, ces Lakers forgés par Jerry West s'en allèrent haut la main vers un titre, puis un autre, puis encore un autre. Pourtant, l'idylle entre Kobe et Shaq n'était en réalité qu'un mirage. Bien qu'atténués par le succès, les deux coéquipiers n'avaient jamais totalement enterré la hache de guerre. En 2004, le divorce fut brutal et la traversée du désert ne fut que plus douloureuse pour Kobe Bryant.
Why couldn't Shaq and Kobe coexist?
Personalities, just their different personalities. I think they both have a drive to be the prime mover. I think Shaq said, I'm the big brother, Kobe's the little brother, and without really knowing Kobe, and Kobe wasn't going to be anybody's little brother.
I was already tight with Kobe. I'd spent by then 3 seasons, talking to him. I would be a guy he would confide in. Talking to him when he was dealing with all of this ugly chemistry from Shaq and the older Lakers players.
When do you believe the friction with you and Kobe actually developed?
I don't know, and I don't care.
There were fundamental differences. Shaq fed a lot of it, and those feelings never quite went away, no matter how much they won. And Kobe was in the process. He would throw his family out of his life, his parents, his sisters. He had gotten rid of all kinds of people in his life. And he eventually got rid of Phil and Shaq. And Kobe was an angry, vindictive guy. But I will tell you that the seeds of all those early years just created a thing where Kobe wanted to prove he could do it. And the thing that Kobe Bryant had was an iron will, like Michael Jordan had an iron will.
Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to Shaq.
Kobe to Shaq, la symphonie était si belle, si seulement elle avait pu durer plus longtemps.